dust collector is running. Welcome back to Work Guitars. I hope life is treating you well. Hope everything's going good for you. Today, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Thing's loud. Remote control for the old dust collector. How cool is that, huh? So today, you know, we're working on Tony Bullard's G-Style, the Fleetwood. And we got the neck good to go, got the head plate on, right? And the truss rod. I'm getting ready to install the truss rod. Got the little access port cut in there. Alright, so today I need to glue in the truss rod, not glue it in, but you know, place it in there so that it stays in place. Then I can glue the fretboard on, because we got the fretboard done. Hold up. Where is it? I'll show it to you. Hang on. Okay, the fretboard. You have jumbo frets. These are the 6100s. Jumbos. Extra wide, extra high. Okay, so we need to get the truss rod in place so that then we can glue on the fretboard, and then we can start the final shaping of this neck, and we can get it glued into the body, and then we can start final shaping of the body, and then we're on the way to getting her done. So today what I do is, when I set these truss rods, you can see it's just a little below the surface right there. It's about 32nd to a 16th of an inch. What I like to do is I like to take a piece of this Spanish cedar and mill it down to where it fits perfectly in there, little strips. Fits perfectly down in there, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do, all right? I don't need to tell you, I'll just show you. So in the meantime, let me get back to sanding these things right quick. Okay, so we've got the piece milled. I just take these pieces and mill them down until they're the same thickness as this through, roughly 1/4 of an inch. And then just rip off a little piece like this little fella here, and that'll fit pretty much perfectly down in that groove. Perfectly. I keep using that word. It'll fit in the groove. And then we just take some CA glue and stuff is so soft you can just cut it with your fingernail just about. Take some CA glue and run it along that edge right there, and then just plane that off. Right? Then we just take a block plane, plane that off until it's flush with the surface, then we can glue that fretboard on. Excuse me, but before I do that, excuse me, I need to put just a touch of silicone down inside the bottom of that groove right there, just so in the future, if anything gets a little loose, there won't be any rattling. This will never rattle inside its little area there. It's probably not necessary. I'll do it anyway, because I don't know, it just seems like the right thing to do, so I'll do it. Let me find my silicone up, because I don't know where it is. I'll be right back. Okay, I found the silicone. Man, it was touch and go there for a minute. You see Steve over there? Wave at him, Steve. Steve's touching up the spray room over there, getting it pretty inside. I told him not to worry about it too much, but he's a perfectionist. He said, I ain't gonna have people come in here and look at my spray room and say, who built this spray room? Without being able to say, I built it. And I said, I hear you, Steve. Didn't I say that?
Something along them lines.
There's something along them lines. So here's the issue I got now. There's always an issue involved in every little thing that you do. You know, have you ever noticed that? Everything has an issue involved in it. Look, it's clogged up. Man, that's frustrating. When you buy these tubes, if you don't use the whole tube at one time, you're not gonna, it's not gonna, they give you these cool little caps and stuff. They still clog up. And you got to jam something in there. Man, now I gotta find something to jam in there. There we go. I think we got some action now. Oh yeah. I think we got some action now. Well, maybe not. I gotta just buy a new tube for every guitar, I guess. Or what I can do is cut the bottom. Hold on, man. This is a lot of work just to do this, isn't it? Aha! Aha! I can just put a little touch of that down in the bottom of that groove right there. That's all I want, a little bit. Just like that. That's all I needed. All of that hassle just for those 2 little drops. Woo, life's tough sometimes. All right, now I can stick this down on there. That gives me a little bit of a cushion down underneath the truss rope. Now I can glue the strip in right here. Push that down in there. That. Get a little CA glue. This edge. This real thin CA glue will just soak right down along that edge right there. Let that dry for a second. Got the filter running. Might be kind of loud. Ah, that's better. A little quieter. Okay, and take these pins out. High cost of living, ain't nothing like cost of living high. Listening to some Jamie Johnson out here this morning, among other things. I can't play any in the background when I'm doing a video because I'll get sued for copyright infringement. You would think they would be like, hey, that's cool, you can play my song. But no. Oh no. I'm just playing this off of here. I have discovered that I'm kind of allergic to this CA glue. If I use much of it at a time, my whole face clogged up. I should be wearing a mask. I'm not smart enough for that. All right, now we can take this nice block plane here, not block plane, block sander. That's beautiful. There you go. Got a little bit of glue right there. A little glue I need to sand off. We'll get that. That's what we need to do. Next, we glue on the fretboard. All right? So let's get this right. We'll go ahead and do that too. We'll get this in the clamps. Then I got some bodies I need to glue up for other people's builds. Got some single cutaways and some Salines I need to get the body slabs glued up. We'll start doing that today. think that's just about perfect right there. And clean up a little bit, get some of this dust and stuff out of the way, and we'll be right back. All right. So we got the strip glued in, right? Get you a close up of that. Strip's glued in. That's a little low spot right there. Okay, so that's locked in. Head plate's glued on. Truss rod port is on, in, milled, however you would like to say it. Now, we're going to put this fretboard on, and I'm going to use some epoxy to glue the fretboard on. In the past, I've used what they call aliphatic resin, which is yellow glue, or Elmer's glue, or Tite Bond. And Tite Bond works great on wood joints, obviously. That's what it was designed for. But with this tropical hardwood, like this rosewood, it's kind of oily. And I feel like introducing the water from that glue into this fretboard, when it dries out of there, it makes these fretboards shrink a little bit. And I've found that when it does, the edges of the frets poke out just a bit on the edges here. So I'm using this instead. Epoxy. Okay? But first, there's a ton of prep work, of course, and I had to find everything. Just like earlier when I was trying to find the silicone, but I've got everything together now, and I'm just putting some wax. Good old bowling alley wax. Epoxy does not stick to wax. It'll stick to everything but wax. So we wax everything up real good. And that way it makes it, it's easier to clean up when it dries. It'll just dry on the surface of the wax and pop right off. And then we don't have to worry about our fretboard gluing to the clamping caul, which would not be good. That would not be good, would it, Steve?
No.
Alright, got our wax on there. I'm going to wax the edges too while I'm here. Bottom. Wax on everything. It also helps protect them. You know, it keeps moisture out of the clamping caul. We make these clamping cauls. It's got a 12-degree radius on it, so the fretboard lays right down inside there. Right? You guys have seen these, right? You've been following along. You've seen that before. Have you been following along? Okay. I appreciate you following along. All right. So we got that. We don't need any more of that. We'll put that up. Okay, we got the clamping caul. We got our clamps right here. We have the neck, fretboard. Let's just go ahead and get the fretboard in place. That just drops right down in there like that. It centers up. We put our pins in place. Pins, hello pins, where'd you go? Here they are. Pin container. Pins in place on the neck. On the fretboard, I should say. I'm going to put one there and I'm going to put one here. That's really all you need. You don't have to have all four of them in. It's not going anywhere. Now the pins hold the fretboard in place. Just like that. That's not going anywhere. That's not going to slip or slide when we put the clamp pressure to it. It'll be perfect. Using that word perfect again. Not perfect by any means. All right, that looks good. I like that. Fits on there nicely. Everything seems like it's got a great joint on it. There's no weirdness happening. That means we can proceed. Okay, so what we need is a container and a mixer and some glue. Okay, whew. Man, I started to try to put on the wrong pump for this, that came out of the mini pump set. And there was a cascade of madness began. So I stopped filming so you didn't have to see. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty at all, so I spared you that. So we're back on track. I've got new gloves. We got the right pumps on the right containers. All I had to do is read the top of it, but I didn't do that.
Reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. Now I have excess material all over the place. I gotta take a minute to clean that off. Come back again. You may notice I have a different shirt on. Okay, so after the battle with the pumps, I got the pump in there and I couldn't get anything to come out because I was trying to prime it. You know, to make sure I get a full pump. So you pump it a couple times, make sure there's no bubbles in there. You know what I mean? Well, it didn't work. So I took the pump out to see what the problem was and was holding it up and pushed down on it. And then it decided to work. It squirted on my chest. So, once again, it's been quite a traumatic battle. But we've got it under control now, I think. Steven.
Let's hope so.
All right. We got our clamping call, we got our fretboard, we got epoxy. We got a mixing bucket, we got a stick, we got clamps. We have a spreading device. Right? Good old credit card. That's what credit cards are good for, spreading epoxy. Other than that, you don't need one. All right, one pump of the hardener, the resin. One pump of the hardener. That's the perfect mixture. All we gotta do now is just stir it up real good and spread it out. couple more clamps on here, clean it up, let this set up, and then that is good to go. We can start the final shaping of the net. Man, it's quite a battle today. That glued up. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. I'm gonna get out of here and try to finish this up and then go lay down. I've been traumatized by it. Y'all have a good one. Be sure to get out there and support your bars and your bands and go see all your friends and have a good time. Peace. We'll see you out there. Work guitars. Bye now.